Hello everyone and welcome back yet again to another daily update video. My name is CryptoStash and I hope you're having an amazing weekend. Currently it is Saturday and let's look into the charts as Bitcoin is right now still holding above the 200 moving average, as you can see right here. I told you on my X, and also I did share that on CoinMarketCap, that if Bitcoin holds this support right here, we are potentially going to retest this level right here, and this is actually what Bitcoin did. As you can see, we are remaining currently above 108k, and right now Bitcoin is trading at 110, approaching this level right here, 111, and 112k is basically the most key level. If we enable our monthly pivot points, you can see today is the 1st of November and these are brand new monthly pivots, and our monthly pivot is sitting exactly at 112.4k for Bitcoin. This would be a move of around 2%, and if price starts rejecting or starts struggling right here, then potentially we are going to be getting that final push and we are finally going to be breaking towards the downside. In my opinion, this is right now the most probable case scenario for Bitcoin to be playing out, since as you can see we are still in a heavy downtrend after this capitulation week right here. Bitcoin has just been ranging sideways, but this is also good since you could have catched some very nice moves, also longs and shorts, as you can see in this particular range right here. If we pull out our volume profile, you can see basically you could have gone long towards the value area low, gone shorts toward the value area high, and you would have made some very nice profits. But right now for the long term, you can see we finally got that new monthly candle and Bitcoin is right now consolidating higher. You can see right here the monthly time frame is right now looking not the best, since we are still in consolidation. But as you can see, the last time that we had like a bearish divergence on the monthly time frame and on the RSIs, you can see after this we started dropping below the middle line, basically below the 50 line of the RSI indicator. And right now if we measure it from all the way back here towards the top that we had, and also our RSI indicator, you can see this is a very higher time frame bearish divergence, which is actually a very big warning signal for the price. And potentially we are going to consolidate for a bit, and then we are going to be having this correction potentially towards the low 70s, or we are going to be testing the low from right here that we had back in April after the tariff market crash potentially. And if we measure it from the all-time high towards this bottom, that will be a 40% of a correction, or $51,000 in price change for Bitcoin, which would be pretty massive. And if we get that big of a correction, I would be expecting the bullish trend to resume, since as you know, every time that we had that big of a correction, we are going to get somewhat of a relief rally, or we get that bullish trend to continue. Of course, if we do get like a higher time frame structure change, basically if we start breaking, do something like this and start trading below here, then this would be considered a break of structure. But it is still possible that we just do a range below, and then after some time we do reclaim those levels. But this is all right now just theoretical. As you know, this is not a financial advice, but it is very high possibility scenario to be playing out for Bitcoin, since the charts are flashing us those warning signals, and we need to be taking those in mind. The time to be bullish was back here at the bear market bottoms. It was back in 2024, also back in April, and right now after those higher time frame bearish divergences, I am still leaning somewhat more bearish right now. I am changing my bias, but until we start breaking down below 100k, then I would be 100% sure that we're going to be seeing potentially lower prices. But as of right now, we are still trading above 100k, which is still potentially somewhat good for Bitcoin. As you know, right now for the short term, I am expecting, as I said, a potential bounce towards the monthly pivot, and then we are going to potentially be testing some of those monthly supports. The last monthly S3 is sitting at $87,000, which would be actually a pretty decent correction if we get down there. The dollar closed very bullish. Also on the monthly time frame, the dollar looking all right. I mean, on the weekly and on the daily time frame, it looks more bullish. On the monthly, it looks decent for potential upside continuation. And if the dollar starts going up, basically, you know, Bitcoin will be getting weaker. But for now, this is my outlook for Bitcoin. Also, we have on the liquidation heat map, you can see a lot of liquidity stacked up right here at 112,000. Basically, this is where the monthly pivot is, and this is why I am expecting for it to be tagged like almost 100% certain that we are going to be tagging 112.4k, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, but it is going to happen before further downside. The ETF inflows, they got absolutely, we got absolutely red 3 days in a row with almost over 800 million in outflows, which is something that we need to keep in mind of. If you look at Ethereum, you can see Ethereum trying to reclaim on the daily time frame the most important support into resistance flip. You can see also the monthly pivot is sitting right around $4,000, and this also the POC of the range. So for Ethereum, I am expecting the same thing, a potential test of this level. If we fail to break to the upside, then we are going to be getting rejection and a potential test of the 200 moving average. Solana still right now hovering around the 200 moving average, currently trading below it on the daily. Monthly pivot sitting at 190, value area high sitting at 196. So potentially Solana might get a move, a week towards this level, and then potentially trade at range lows again. Hype is also looking not so bullish right now. The monthly pivot sitting around the 200 moving average. You can see $38 might get tested again from the high that we made right here. That would be 23% of a correction. If we start breaking down, we are going to be tagging this level. Sui still looking the most like the worst out of all coins that I'm looking at. XRP also still consolidating in this range. The pump token kind of trying to tag the monthly pivot. You can see the stock market did close a bit on the bearish side. You can see right here on the daily and on the weekly. Potentially, I think on Monday we are going to be seeing more of a correction for the stock market, and then if this happens, Bitcoin will also follow. The fundamentals, fear and greed index remaining at the fear zone at 33 right now. Still, you can see in the Bitcoin dominance is right now high, very, very high. Altcoins tend to be very weak right now. Long versus shorts ratio for the weekend, basically for Saturday, would be more buyers into the market. Also in Hyperliquid, we do have more buys as of right now. Funding rates are right now positive, which is good. Also, let's see if we have some news for the new month. We do have PMI at Monday. and we do have jolts, but as you can see, they are tentative, basically almost all of the news, because the government is still not running. So it is going to be very, very interesting if we're going to get that data like we got the CPI before, even though the government is shut down. And we also have inflation expectations on Friday, which would also be very important. And I think this covers it for today, guys. This was a quick weekend update. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.